Hi, welcome to Finance Unlocked for Nonprofits. In this section, we're going to talk about 990s. So Erin, what's a 990?
So the 990 is the tax return that, with very few exceptions, every nonprofit organization is required to complete every year. The IRS has given you this gift of your tax-exempt status, and what they require in return is that you complete a 990. The Form 990 can be different depending on how big you are. A smaller organization could have a postcard or an EZ form, and a bigger organization will have a much longer form to complete. But everyone needs to submit one.
Okay, and this is just the staff, they just fill this thing out and then send it in, right?
Well, it can be more complicated than that, and
Okay.
perhaps having a CPA complete it. And the board has a role in this too, and we'll definitely talk about that later. So I think it's important for the board to know, are we filing our 990 and are we filing it on time? Because there can really be some serious penalties involved as well.
Because if we don't file it online, the IRS gets mad.
The IRS does get mad.
Uh-oh.
And worst case, there are thousands of nonprofits that lose their tax-exempt status every year just because they didn't file their 990. So that's something we would like to avoid.
That is bad.
That is bad.
All right.
Yes.
So you fill it out, you send it to the IRS, and then it becomes this public document?
That's right. So the Form 990 is your most public financial document. You're required to give it to anyone who asks for it, and it is loaded up onto guidestar.org for anyone and everyone to see. So if I was thinking about giving a significant gift to a nonprofit organization, I would look you up on GuideStar and really see what your 990 and what your GuideStar profile said about you.
Got it. So my GuideStar profile, that's going to be like the Facebook page for your organization,
That's
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure.
So the other piece is, since this is so public, to really use your 990 as a marketing tool. So there is a lot of open space for words in the 990, contrary to what you might think about a tax return, all about numbers. There's a lot of space to talk about your programs, your mission. So really taking advantage of that, again, for these funders and prospective funders who are going to be out there looking at your 990. So it can include things like number of people that we've served, volunteer time, just all that kind of good programmatic stats. And frankly, it shouldn't come from accounting. So the pieces that are the words, stuff from our website, grant applications, how we're talking about ourselves in our annual report, that kind of information should really be on the 990.
So this is all of the stuff. Like, this is like a Facebook page with no privacy settings.
That's right.
Right? It's all out there.
100% public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And another thing that's in the 990 is a checklist for policies and sort of governance best practices. So for the board, to look through that and see what kinds of things have we said we are doing and what kinds of things have we said that we're not doing. And the kinds of things that are on that checklist, a conflict of interest policy, whistleblower policy, a couple of things about how we compensate our executive director, and does the board review the 990 before it gets submitted? So again, this importance of the board reviewing the 990.
As a board member, if I look at the 990 and I go, oh, we don't have these things, how bad is that? It's
not bad. So the IRS has said that checking no on some of those governance questions doesn't mean they're going to come knocking and audit you. But I think for those that you're checking no to, having some really good conversation about, these are areas for improvement. Are these things we want to implement in the next few years, or are we okay with having these boxes be no for whatever reason?
Okay, so they can sort of guide us to what we want in the future.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I understand it.
Yeah. And in your kit for the 990, as far as board review goes, this can be a really daunting thing that's coming to the board table once a year. So in the kit, there is a section where it focuses you on the 4 pages that are really the most crucial for board members to pay attention to. And there's a 1-page 990 checklist that can really help with the review as well.
So it's kind of the speed read for the 990, correct?
Exactly right.
All right. So most importantly, the 990 is going to be the most public document. It's the Facebook page for this organization. It is completely public. There's no privacy settings. And I think as a board member, it's important for us to know that the 990 is your friend.
Agreed.
All right. Be friends with your 990.